Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alyssa.
And this is Skeletales.
And this is the podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
I was walking in the forest behind my house.
In the what?
Forest. A wooded area. No,
Okay.
that didn't sound like
Sylvan-
wooded.
Wooded.
Wooded. And I've been trying to collect moss for my backyard because they don't have moss really in Texas. And so it's like this new, fascinating thing for me. I'm collecting moss from the forest. And I find a black pendulum, like the kind that you use to predict future-y things.
What?
In the forest behind my house. And I was like, this is not a normal find. It would seem more likely to find a pocket watch or a wallet. But it's like
A pocket watch also. Maybe you're in Portland. Okay, that's possible, I suppose. A monocle. What else?
Yeah.
I mean.
But it seemed a little freaky. And I was like, should I use it? Should I throw it away? Do I put a thing on Nextdoor that somebody's lost this? So I have it, and I think a gift from grandma? That's kind of where I was going with the dead grandma thing. But it's a little spooky to me, but also I'm really intrigued now, but I'm really nervous to try it. Have you done the pendulum before?
No, but don't you ask yes/no questions with
Yes.
it? Couldn't you ask the pendulum what you should do with the pendulum?
Are
And get the
you
answer?
haunted? And then, I don't remember if what is yes. Is yes movement or is no movement?
No, I have no clue. I don't know.
Okay, so listeners, if you know how to use one of these, hit me up. Send me an email. Send me a message.
Get on the Google right now. What are we doing right now? No, do you have it within arm's reach? You better get that pendulum.
Am I going to
Let's
do
see
it right now?
Yeah, get it. Come on. You're
Okay,
gonna
it's
ask
not
them
arm's
to
reach, but-
write
okay,
in
hold
when
on.
Google. I'm going to Google it while you're getting
You Google it while I go get it.
Okay.
Did you Google it? What'd Google say?
Oh boy.
Oh,
It's a
no.
process. Okay, I did Google it. This is from wellandgood.com. I don't know.
Okay.
It's the first thing I saw. It says, to get your go-to pendulum, it's kind of like when you walk into a gemstone shop and find what speaks to you. But this one came to you.
It came to me,
okay, so
literally in my
Yep.
backyard. Yeah.
Trust your intuition and allow yourself to be shown which pendulum is right for you. I would say the one you find on a trail is right for you when
But,
moss hunting.
It's kind of spooky looking.
Whoa, dude. That is okay. It's like an onyx pendulum. It's a good size. You just found this in the dirt?
Yeah.
That is really suspicious.
It's suspicious. It's bizarre, right?
How does it feel in your hand? Ground, take a deep breath. How does it feel?
Okay, hold on. Let me focus a little bit. Let me focus a little bit. I'm not getting any spooky vibes. It doesn't feel necessarily connected to me. It feels kind of like maybe it belongs to somebody else. Maybe that's just how I'm feeling. I don't know. Let me think. Okay. All right. I'm not getting spooky vibes off of it.
Okay, no spooky vibes. It
No
does
spooky
say that
vibes.
you're supposed to cleanse the pendulum with sage outside under a full moon, soaking
Oh.
it in sea salt if the material or crystal is water and salt friendly, or simply by holding it under cold tap water.
Oh.
That one. Go do it. Quick.
Okay. All right. In hindsight, I probably should have cleaned it off after I got it.
Anyway,
so not doing things. I also got my my Palo Santos because I don't have sage, so I'm just gonna
okay.
smoke it a little bit.
Okay, smudge that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Then what does it say?
Shit,
after
you're
the
prepared. Okay, so once it's cleansed, which you're now doing, so you want to learn how the pendulum moves, Britt. And it's key to learn what is yes and what is no. So
Okay.
you can even ask the pendulum, apparently, show me what a yes looks like. show me what no looks like.
Oh.
And you're supposed to hold the pendulum in your dominant hand with the chain or top link between your thumb and index finger. Okay. Oh, she's still smudging it. That's
sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
I got really excited about the
Crack your window. You're going to be bleeding out the lungs. Making me nervous over here.
I got it. Okay. Holding in my dominant hand. Okay.
That's not what I expected that to look like. You're holding it. Maybe that's right.
By
I've not watched the
thumb
video.
and index finger, right?
Okay. That's one way. That's one way.
What were you thinking?
I mean, I was just thinking like
like a pencil. Okay.
I mean, so Britt like wedged it in between into the little crook between her thumb and index finger and was holding her head flat like a puppet, possibly. I don't know. Rather than just holding
Dangling
it like one would just pick something up. But I don't know. Maybe you are right. Trust your intuition.
I
Britt.
don't follow directions well.
Okay.
Okay.
So connect, breathe.
Okay. Connected.
So you're supposed to ask it, show me yes.
Show me yes. Oh. Oh my gosh.
What's it doing, Britt? Describe what it's doing.
Well, I was hoping it would move side to side, but it's moving forward and backward.
Okay.
Like
so then,
my hand is not moving at all.
No. Okay.
Okay,
so
forward and backward.
Forward
yes.
and backward. And then say.
Oh, and now it stopped. Oh my God, this is freaky. Oh no, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, what do I do next?
You ask it to show me no.
Okay, do I have to
breathe again? Yeah,
feeling nervous. Okay, show me no. It's not moving at all.
It's not moving at all.
There it is. No.
Okay. So we have your answers. And then you're supposed to even like get to know it. Ask it some questions that you can get the the answer to already.
Okay. Is my name Britt? Oh, it's not moving.
Maybe your name is not Britt.
Oh, wait. Hold on. It's kind of moving. Oh, now it's moving. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
It's doing the up and back and forth.
The yes. It's telling you yes.
Oh, like a lot now.
Yeah, it's really going. I see it.
Oh my
I can see
God,
it.
Alyssa.
Britt
This is
looking
very weird.
out.
I don't know that I like this. Is it like a Ouija board? Do I have to say goodbye?
No.
Are we still going?
Keep going.
Oh my
Ask
God,
if it
sweating.
belongs to you.
Do you belong to me now? It's swinging. Okay.
So as in yes?
Yes. Now it's getting bigger swings. Oh, yes. Okay. You belong to me now.
Okay.
Oh, and now it stopped. This is really like I've got goosebumps all over my body. This is really weird. It's not swinging anymore.
Okay.
Alyssa! Okay. What do I ask next?
If your house is haunted.
Is my house haunted? It's not moving. It's not haunted.
Okay,
it's not haunted.
God. Okay, thank God.
Okay,
Woo,
now can I put it away?
Do you have any other questions you want to know? I have a question.
What? Okay, what?
Are our dead grandmas watching us?
Is Grandma watching us? Does she come to visit us? Is she available? Do you see it?
Is it saying no?
It's saying yes. It's going forward and backward. Oh my gosh, more and more now. Hi, Grandma.
Hey, Grandma.
Holy moly. We like straight up have connected. We have a definite, solid scientific
shit. Solved.
And now it stopped. Oh my gosh, I've never used a pendulum before. This is oddly accurate. This is really quite cool.
That is very cool. Your arm looks like it's going to get tired. Okay, wait. Okay, so should we say goodbye?
Okay.
Yeah. I think that you just should in general. I think it's just polite. Let's have some manners.
Thank you for your energy and for giving us some answers. Namaste. Okay. I think Amen. I need a special, I feel like I need a special case for it now like that. That was really cool.
That's exciting. So the answer is solved. Should we stop saying that at the beginning? The podcast where grandma is watching you?
Pendulum says yes.
The pendulum says your grandma is watching you.
Yes.
Dude, that's really bizarre. I mean, we like the strange and unusual, but for you of all people to find a pendulum on the ground and like know what it is. And then when this happened, just yesterday or whatever?
Like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Unless like is someone like planted it there for you to find?
I don't know who. We just moved here. Nobody knows. Like
nobody knows.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That was
cool.
really exciting. I got goosebumps and also sweaty at the same time.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was fun.
That is wild. You are definitely in Portland is also the second part of that. So, Britt, do we just talk about pendulums and walking through the woods and collecting moss?
No, nor do we connect with spirits on a daily basis. Is it a ghost doing that? Like, what is the energy? I guess it would just be energy moving.
I think you're communicating with all the ghosts.
Okay.
And
well, lovely.
The spirits. And the devil dropped it on that path. And
oh my God.
Good luck to you, my friend.
Speaking of spirits speaking to us, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about, I think, signs from the afterlife. Possibly experiences with the afterlife.
Perfect.
I have a few stories that started around that premise, and we'll see where we end up.
I'm really excited about this episode. I want you to go first, though, because you've been teasing me about how great your stories are. And
no, don't say that.
What?
Don't say that. Wait, no, low expectations.
Okay.
Just squash those expectations.
Your stories are going to be crap, so prove me wrong. Huh?
Okay. I will do that. Okay. This one goes, in 2006, my best friend Fred was killed in action in Iraq. We used to wrestle and fight until one of us submitted. These sessions would start randomly and always be initiated by saying, "Show me your fangs." And that's in quotes. This involved pointing your pointer and middle finger down in front of your mouth while growling at the other person. A couple of weeks after his death, some family from the other side of the country that we only see every 5 years or so was visiting. My cousin's son, who is about 5 and who I never met prior to this visit, comes over. He gives me the fangs and smiles. I asked him, "Where did you learn that?" He says, "Your friend says hi," and runs away. I went to my room and cried for a bit.
Oh my God. Goose bums. Oh, that's so good.
Isn't it?
It's got the kids. It's got the friends visiting. It's got everything. I love it. I love it. All right. Your stories aren't crap. You won.
Oh, shit. Okay. Phew. You asked the pendulum earlier. Alyssa's story's crap today.
It swung just like
Cool.
almost hit me in the eye over there. So I'm just kidding.
Okay, can I tell one more real quick?
Please do.
'Cause that one was so short.
It was so good.
Okay, so this one is from Steve, and he says, "So I'm adopted. I've never seen or talked to my real dad. All I know is that he's a horrible person, mainly because he has 4 kids that he never took care of, including me. I was adopted by my biological mom's sister, so I got to see my biological mom from time to time. So I worked at a supermarket for about a year, and one night I had a dream. I was stocking the different varieties of shredded cheese in the coolers, and suddenly this man walks up behind me saying, 'Son, it's me. It's your father. Please come home with me. I miss you. I'm sorry I left you. Please come home.' So I got scared. I ran out of the store and I called my dad that actually took care of me and loves me. Told him that my biological dad found me and wanted me back. The dream ends there. So I wake up that morning staring at the wall thinking about the dream. Really confused because I never had a dream about my biological dad, mainly because I've never seen him or even talked to him. But it bothered me all day. The next day comes and I had to go to a baby shower. Then later that day at dinner, my sister brings me outside to talk and tells me, "I know you probably don't care, but I thought I'd just tell you. Your real dad died yesterday." I was in absolute shock. I immediately remembered why I had that dream. It was him trying to say he's sorry after all the years he abandoned me. The end.
Whoa. Good one. Steve.
Never had a dream about his dad, then has a dream about his dad the night before he died, or maybe the night he died. We don't know exactly.
Oh, I love this topic. I could just listen to these all the day long. So
I thought I was just
good.
going to have like butterflies landing and stuff, but I was like, no. We'll do something different. So do you have
Love
stories?
I do. This one comes from, we'll call her Z.
Okay.
I was born as an identical twin, and when we reached 11, my twin sister told my mom that she was going to die soon. In unbelief, my mom said that parents are not supposed to survive their children and disregarded the whole discussion. My sister insisted and began to inform us how she wanted her funeral. She wanted a white coffin, white and yellow flowers. She wanted to be wearing a white and yellow dress. She even talked about reincarnation. She wanted to be reincarnated as a little monkey or a little cat with a white belly and a black torso. We didn't pay much attention to what she was saying until on December 20th, we were waiting for her to return from ballet class and she was running late. My mother stepped outside and came back in the house so fast and screaming so loud, calling for my father. The scream was disturbing, so loud. I looked out the door to check what the fuss was about and saw my sister's bike on the ground. I looked further and saw her laying in the middle of the street. I was numb. I couldn't move. I just saw my parents passing by me and running towards her. She had been hit by a motorbike and was gone. Her funeral was as she wished, white and yellow. The following months passed by, and on March 29th, 1985, our 12th birthday, we went to the cemetery. And surprise, a little black and white baby cat was laying on her grave. On her grave!
Oh my God.
My mom and I just froze. I couldn't move. We didn't say a word to each other. There were more people with us, so we just stood there as it began cuddling into my mom's legs. It followed us until the gate, and then it vanished. Everybody saw the cat, so we weren't dreaming. We searched the whole cemetery. Nothing. We never saw the little cat again.
Oh my gosh. That like literally brought little tears to my eyes.
Yeah, like I think that was the little sister just saying like, hey guys, this is what I wanted. Like, all is well.
Yeah. I mean, that's freaky. I don't want my kids ever trying to start planning their
never.
funeral. I
Oh
would
my
do the
God,
same thing as that parent. Be like, no.
I would also just be like, okay, you're living in like a bubble wrapped world now. And no, you can't do that.
Horrible. But yes, she knew. She knew and she had plans. So I guess good thing she was jibber jabbering on about it, because the little kitty, like that part, that's the one that brought little tears to my eyes. Unless, do you think the dad like drove ahead and planted it there?
No, Alyssa, stop. Don't ruin the magic.
It dug back in and crawled back into the grave. That's where it went to. That one's good. That is not where I saw that going. I love the idea of identical twins in general. Like, that freakiness is so good to begin with, but that must be super hard to lose your twin too.
Well, she said that it was real, that was just, part, she has told a little bit more about her life and stuff, but she said it was actually kind of hard because people would look at her and think of her deceased sister, and that it was really hard for them not to connect the two of them. And I kind of get that. Like, so Mike's mom was an identical twin, and Mike's mom passed away before her sister, and we would hang out with Aunt Linda a few times, and she looks just like Mike's mom. And it really was like, To me, it wasn't a negative thing. It was almost just like a little bit of Nancy was still on Earth with us. And so I just remember giving her a hug and I'm like, oh my gosh, you even smell like her. Like it was more comforting to me than it was like.
Yeah, that's wild.
Anything.
That's pretty cool. I never really thought about that you get to still see the person in the flesh, essentially, if they're identical, right?
I mean, they're obviously completely different people with completely different personalities, but on that aspect, the physical aspect, it was still there. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is wild. That's wild. Did you want me to go again?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Let me tell another
all day
story here. Okay. So this is when I sort of got like sidetracked into the kids talking about things that they shouldn't know, their past lives. This might be more where the train I hopped on. And speaking of trains, this one's from John, and he says, I don't remember any of this, but when I was 4, we traveled to Ireland to visit my dad's grandparents. We were walking through a shopping area when I started yelling about wanting to see the train and ran into a shop. My parents ran in after me as I was going nuts about some train. There was no train. It was a clothing store. The woman working there asked my parents what I was doing, and I was just running around frantically. I finally yelled, "The train!" I had found in the back of the store a framed newspaper clipping from the 1940s of the front window of this shop when it was a toy store, and there was a big model train scene set up.
Oh my God. Okay. Was he a reincarnation of an old Irish family member? Or did he show up in Ireland and some like ghostly character was like, you should go see about the trains. And then he was like, I love trains. And then ran in the store.
That's a great question. I think that he is a reincarnation of some Irish family member.
Yes. That's what I think too.
That was what I was picking up from this one. Do you have another story?
I do, but I'm like so hooked on your tales today.
Okay.
Do another one.
So this one is from Sharon. And she says that my daughter, when she was 3, used to talk about her imaginary friend all the time. She said that he was big and fun and spent a lot of time playing with her. One day I was scanning old photos and had a photo of my father on my desk, and she said, "Hey, how did you get a photo of my friend?" I instantly got shivers down my spine. My father died in the house about 15 years previously, and she played in a room that used to be his office. I cautiously asked her to tell me more about her friend, and without hesitating, she told me he talked funny. The chills stopped me dead in my tracks because Dad was an Aussie who never lost his accent.
Oh my God.
Did I say Aussie weird? Aussie?
I think it's more like with a Z, even though I know it's spelled with a Z. Aussie, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, goosebumps. I love it.
That reminds me of our friend of the podcast, Elise, little Elise coming up and saying, "Hey, why are you looking at my imaginary friend on your computer?"
Yes, it is just like that. Except what if it was your parent? Like that's even more, I don't know.
I would love that. Maybe I'll just start dropping photos of old dead relatives around the house and see what happens. Be like,
that person look familiar to you? Odin, what do you think? Huh? Look familiar? Uh-huh. Knowing your boys, they'll come up with some like fantastical story though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what Milo will do? Oh yeah, that's the ghost I've seen standing next to Odin's bed while he's sleeping, bleeding out his mouth or something. Like Milo will mess with him. Totally. And then it will work. Odin will be like, shut up and punch him. But then he like won't be able to sleep for a week.
He's a bit of a scaredy cat.
He's a bit of a scary cat.
Also loves the scary stuff.
I know.
I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
Glutton for punishment. Awesome. Do you have any other stories?
I have another story. Okay. I'm excited to share. This is from Candy. Early on in my hospice career, this is the experience that hooked me to end-of-life care forever. I did an admission for a man named Jay at a local hospital late one evening. Jay was already unresponsive and actively dying. I didn't expect him to make it through the night. I came back on shift at 8 the next morning. Upon hearing Jay had not passed, I headed back to the hospital. Jay remained unresponsive with slow respirations. His wife and only child, a girl, had spent the night with him. They were exhausted, not just physically, but the toll of bearing witness to dying left them both depleted. I offered to sit with Jay while they went to the cafeteria and ate breakfast and got some coffee, and they took me up on the offer. I sat in the chair by the head of the bed and talked to Jay for a while, telling him his family was strong and they would look out for one another. After a while, I began to check some emails. This is when Jay propped himself up on the bed on his elbows. He was wide-eyed, looking at an empty chair directly at the end of his bed. He had a big smile on his face and he exclaimed, "It's you! I knew you would come!" Jay continued to stare directly at the chair and began to sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." The look on his face remained joyful. When he finished singing, he lowered himself back down on the bed, and within 2 minutes, he passed away. When his wife and daughter returned, I was waiting in the hallway. I needed to let them know he'd passed away before they saw him. I told them that he had passed peacefully and that I was with them. He was not alone. They proceeded to the room, and I allowed them the privacy to say their goodbyes. And on the way out, the daughter asked me if Jay ever spoke or what his last moments were like. I told her he had woken up and relayed the experience to her. Jay's wife was leaning against the hallway wall, and upon hearing the story, she slid down to the ground and began sobbing. After the daughter comforted and quieted her mother, she said, "I need to tell you something. I was unaware, but Jay had a second daughter. She had passed away from leukemia at the age of 7. As she died, Jay held her in his arms and sang, 'You are my sunshine' to her." His family said that he had not sung it since. I'm sure that family clung to the gift that Jay gave them at his end of life in the days and weeks and years to follow. I'm sure they still do. It changed me forever. It was the beginning of a fascinating journey to peek behind the veil.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever cried on this freaking podcast.
Is this a Skeletals first?
Oh my God. Oh, that is beautiful. It's so sad. I wonder, it's kind of a shame that the family wasn't there to witness that occurring.
But I think he was holding on for his family. And so when the nurse sort of gave him permission to be like, they're going to be okay, you don't have to hold on to them. That was, I think it allowed him to be like, okay.
Yeah. And then we wouldn't have this story maybe because they wouldn't write it in, but that hospice worker.
Oh, I need to reach out and be like, I need more.
Okay, so my next story is from Lori, and she says, "Let me explain that I consider myself rational and am, for all intents and purposes." I thought that was intensive purposes. I've never seen that written out.
I think it's intent
and purposes. It's intense and purposes.
I don't think it's intense.
Hold on. And
not
purposes.
intense moment. Not that, right?
No. Okay. INTENTS.
Yeah, intense. Oh yeah, intense.
Hey,
in
Britt,
a tent.
Have you heard about this new extreme camping phenomenon? It's pretty intense. That's how you would spell this. INTENTS. That.
Intense.
Okay. And the phrase is apparently intense, and intent, plural. My intent.
Gotcha.
So intent, plural.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes. I always thought that was all intensive purposes.
Oh.
I've never thought much about it. I just said it. Never written it. Interesting. Also, you said coabulate again on the last podcast. And
listened to it and immediately heard myself say it and was like, fuck. I don't even know I'm doing it.
That's really
what's
funny.
so shitty about it is I don't even know I'm doing it. I read
just
it
let it
correctly
slide.
and my mouth says it incorrectly.
I'm glad you actually heard it because I wasn't going to point it out again. You don't need me nitpicking your language
I feel like
skills.
Elmer Fudd when I'm talking. Oh, man.
I'm like, it must be a Texas thing. I don't know. I've let it go a little bit.
Mouth thing.
There's definitely not a W
Being
in
wrong.
the word. Anyway, okay. So I just need to start this over. Hold on. Okay. I forget what we were talking about. Okay. So she says, let me explain that I consider myself rational and am, for all intents and purposes, more towards science and logic than faith or the supernatural. That said, I have no explanation for this experience other than it's just what I experienced. I'll do my best to summarize it. I'm 4 or under at the time. I have a brother that's 4 years younger than me, and he wasn't born yet, so I think that's about how old I was. And I'm spending the night at my grandparents' house. They're staying up late to watch the Olympics, but the plus side to that is that I get to sleep in their bed. Normally, I would sleep in my dad's old bedroom. I'm having trouble falling asleep, a common occurrence. I never slept well, but seeing the light of the TV from the other room is calming. Suddenly, I feel cold. I don't feel scared, but my body gets the shivers. A new light is in the room, and it is to my right. Scared, I slowly begin to turn, and at the side of the bed is an older woman. She is translucent and has a slight blue tint. She is not scary, but her presence is. She is sitting in the rocking chair, holding a small dog, and looking right at me. I immediately go under the blankets. I'm scared, and I turn to the other side of the bed, and my eyes are slammed shut. I stay like this for what feels like an eternity until, still under the blankets, I open my eyes. A new color is outside of the blankets. A warm orange replaces the light blue. Like a fool, I begin to peek out the blankets, and at the other side of the bed, there are men on fire. They are just standing there, but they are burning. I turn around in bed and the woman is there, but now she is standing. Her mouth doesn't move, but in my head, I hear a voice say, they aren't there. They can't hurt anymore. And at that point, I don't remember anything else. The next morning, I didn't get out of bed until my parents arrived. It took a lot of coaxing, but eventually I am able to tell my parents my nightmare. They are amused by a child's imagination. As a lark, my dad tells his parents. My grandfather, a cold, stoic man, almost passes out. When he comes to, he is crying and nonverbal. When he eventually calms down, he tells my father that when he got back from Vietnam, he would lie in bed and suffer from panic attacks. His mother would stand over him and calm him as he relived his days as a soldier manning a flamethrower. While he slept, she would sit in the rocking chair and make sure he rested. To this day, I have no explanation for it. I don't know why I saw his memory. I have no real supernatural experience other than this, but it is burned into my brain forever.
Oh my God. I love that. It's the grandfather's memory.
Yeah.
How is he experiencing that? Oh, that's so cool. That's cool.
It's freaky. I mean, it's cool, but man, the guy just dreamed about all the people he like freaking fried with flamethrowers. That's horrifying.
Yes,
that is
dreaming about that, like, and haunted by it.
Yeah.
I wonder because trauma energy seems to have that sort of power. Like, they say if somebody has experienced trauma that it can live in the cells and that trauma can be passed on. I wonder if that's just sort of like part of the trauma that's just been passed down. I don't know.
DNA experience. That is really interesting. And maybe, touches on past life experiences where people are like, this was a past life. And part of you can be like, okay, whatever, non-believer, that's made up or whatever. But the more we find out about this, that trauma literally alters our DNA and is passed down. It's not beyond possibility that people really truly are like, some of it is somehow passed on into our brains,
into our DNA.
Yeah. And we can remember it. This also, I'm wondering, could possibly be the grandmother, sort of like this grandfather was a cold, stoic person, and possibly giving an experience that could humanize him and soften him and his family's impression of him, you know, if he never really talked about it. And obviously his kid even was like, listen to this crazy thing that happened the other night while Johnny slept over. I forget what their name was. Because obviously they didn't know the experience. So maybe it was the grandma sliding in and being like, you're, you know,
breaking down that wall that he'd
Grandpa
built.
needs to talk about this. He needs to share this experience. This is building in him, you know, and get to know your grandpa a little better.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Man, this is fun. Can we make this a 3-hour episode? Let's keep going. I'm just kidding. We can't. But if you have a story about a freaky dream, about signs from the afterlife of a loved one or a relative, or just any story you'd like to share, we have an email you can write into.
That is skeletalspodcast@gmail.com. You can also call into our hotline, and Britt has that number.
302-689-DEAD, 302-689-3323. We are on all the social medias, and you can find that with Skeletals or Skeletals Podcast. You can also message us over there. We do not respond quite as quickly because it's us. Email really is better.
Also, you could call into the hot box, and call into the hotline, and I changed the message on the hotline.
I want to call now and listen to your voice.
It's just much briefer than before.
Everyone call so you can hear what Alyssa said.
So all of you who just like gave up and hung up after 3 minutes before, maybe you can make it through and actually leave your message this time. You can also hop on over to our Etsy page, and you can go check out the haunted doll and other offerings we have over there. We are planning on doing a little expansion of the shop in general here pretty soon.
Yes, you can find our shop at skeletalspodcast.etsy.com. Share with friends. We love friends.
Yeah. Review, comment, like, share. Do all the things for us, please. Oh, Britt, one more thing. Haunt you later.
Haunt y'all later. Good night.
Good night.